Red Ted Art. Today I have a super fun little project for you. It's a coin purse to sew out of felt and, well, basically to keep your coins and your notes safe if you're out and about shopping. Now this is a really easy sewing project, great introduction to sewing basics. Also you could take the basic actual purse and then decorate it in your own way. I decided to do a monster because a monster is just really fun and cute, but you can do anything. You can keep it plain with no details, you can add flowers, you can add hearts, you can turn it into some other cute little character, I'm sure. But today I'm going to show you the basic little purse and how to then turn it into a monster. So come on, let's take a look and see how it's made. So to make your little monster pouch, you will need some felt, a rectangle, I'm going to measure it in a minute, some details, so I've got some triangles for the teeth and some circles for the eyes, so getting smaller and smaller, and a button, and of course needle and thread and some scissors. Now I think it doesn't really matter how big your felt is, you can just cut out some paper and practice and have a look at the size. What you'll end up doing is folding it into three with an overlap like this. Now you don't want the overlap to be too big because you want the teeth to show, don't you? But if you do want to know my exact measurements, because I know it helps some of you, this is 21 centimeters up, or almost 8 inches, and across it's 8.5. So that's only if it helps you as a guide. Now I'm actually going to start off with sewing on my button. Some people do that last, but the reason I want to do it first is because I find that sewing on a button when your felt is flat is actually easier rather than it's all together. So I'm going to find my spots. I folded it up into what I think will be my monster, what I want my monster purse to look like. I might have this a bit higher up. So this is what I want my monster purse to be. So I've got enough space for the teeth, enough for the eyes. I'm going to find my button, so my button will be here. So I lift this up, and I know my button should go underneath. So roughly there. So that's a good spot for my button. Now I've already threaded my thread. I've put it double because that makes it stronger. Now down below, and I'm going to show you now as well, but down below I've got links to how to sew on a button, and I've also got links as to how to use a needle threader. So if that helps you doing your sewing, please check out those videos. So I'm holding my button now into place. I'm coming in from behind so that my knot is hidden. And then I'm going to sew on my button. Now sometimes with felt, because it's quite sort of porous, I don't know if that's the right word, your thread, your knot might come through again. So you either want to make a stronger knot or just hold it in position whilst you sew on your button. Now like I said, I've got a video down below as to how to sew on buttons. If it's a really slow one where you can really take your time and have a look, and I'm just doing a sort of a quick version of it now. So I think that's tight enough. Then on the back, I'm just going to take my thread, I'm going to push it through the other stitches, and then before it's finished, I'm going to just loop it again through the thread, and that'll give it like a little knot. And I'm going to do that twice in order to secure my thread, and then cut. So I've got my button in place. Now line everything up again, make sure it's just how you want it. So this is where the button's going to be later, great. Open it up. Now I'm going to change my threads and I'm going to start sewing the green. Like I say, I've got below a video that shows you how to use a needle threader, if that's easier for you. Got my thread through. Ooh. Or you can ask a grown-up for help. So when I sew with my daughter, for example, I usually do the thread for her and she does all the sewing, and that's fine. Now you can also use embroidery thread, which is nice and strong, and you can use that contrasting colours if you want to have some extra detail on your purse. But today I've decided to just go for some simple thread, and I've just put some knots in it to help. secure it. There we go. Okay, so I've got folded it, so I know where I want everything. Now I'm going to just take the bottom, push it inside. So by doing it this way, my knot goes on the inside, you can't see it. I'm now going to do a running stitch is probably fine. Running stitch up. You can do a really nice blanket stitch. Again, I've got a video down below how to do blanket stitch. They're really, really lovely. But I'm going to go running up and then running down just to make sure it's extra strong. And the running stitch is basically you just go in and then you come out in from the back. And then you go down the top. And then you come in from the back. So running stitch, you're literally running in and out. Like I say, I've got videos down below showing you all the different stitches, and the running stitch is a really great and easy stitch to do, and it's quite quick. I do love the blanket stitch though. I'd love for you to take a look at that and maybe consider using that, especially if you're going to use contrasting threads. Then the blanket stitch is really lovely. There you go, that looks nice, doesn't it? So now you need to again knot it off. So what I'm going to go is I'm going to go inside, so between the two pieces of fabric, and you see that stitch there? Can you see that? I'm just going to loop my thread through and then push through this loop, kind of creating a little knot. And then I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to go in, so underneath, create this little loop, and then push my needle through. And then you can trim it. There you go. Now I'm going to repeat the same on the other side. There we go, so this is your basic purse. Now if you want, you can you snip the hole in for your button, and actually at that point you could finish. This is your purse. I'm going to show you how to do the hole. So you've got the button here. I'm going to take it, I'm going to fold it in half and just give it a little snip. Now don't snip too big, because if the hole's too big, it won't keep the button secured. Equally, you don't want to do it too small. Now with felt, to be honest, it's fine if you just snip it, but sometimes with other fabrics, or if the felt's really thin, you might want to do a little blanket stitch around the buttonhole to secure it so it doesn't rip over time. But there we've got our little button. There you go, isn't that cute? So next I'm going to add the teeth by just sewing them across the bottom. So I'm going to open up my flap, I'm going to position my teeth. So this is on the inside, so you don't see the little extras. Take my green thread. I hope there's I might need a new piece. I think that's a bit short. Let's get a new piece. And I'm using green thread because when you flip it over, you'll see the green on the outside, and then it's a bit neater. But again, if you want to use contrasting threads, I think that's fine. It can add some real lovely details to your purse. So use what you've got. So our monster's almost ready. Let's have a look. Isn't that wonderful? Look at that. So now these are just 3 circles, so cut them out, and the same on that one. Now you just need to sew that on. So to make it really quick and easy, I'm going to get some black thread and literally just sew on that middle bit. You could of course sew all the way around the outside. That's something that I might do at a later date when I've got a bit more time. This is not black thread, but it's a bit darker, so I'll use that. But I think if you just sew the middle, then you should be able, you know, it will hold the eyes in place. And there you have it. Little monster pouch finished. Let's put the button in. Isn't that adorable? That's so cute. I love it. Now, as I mentioned, if you wanted to add extra little details, you could sew around the outside of the eyes just to secure them a bit more. And also you could, depending on your felt, so this is quite thin, this felt, so this might wear. So you could put a few stitches just around the outside of the buttonhole just to keep it sort of stiff and secure. And that's it. Let's put them in. This is so cute. There we go. Job done. Anyway, happy sewing. I'd love you to add this to your playlist. Like, comment and subscribe. And of course, I'd love to see you here again soon. Take care. Bye.